Hey y'all, I'm Summer, and today I'm going to be talking about some books on my TBR.
So I know with everything going on right now with the virus, most of us have been trying to stay inside. So I figured it was a good time to try and read some of the books that have been in my TBR pile for what I feel like forever. Some of these books aren't that old, but some of them are a lot older, so hopefully I can get through as many of them as possible. Now, I do film my videos at my apartment, and the majority of my books are on my shelf at my parents' house. So if there's a book I don't have with me here, I'll try to insert a picture of it. But I am doing just books that I actually own and haven't read. The first book on my list is going to be kind of disappointing to some people. I probably should have read this book a long time ago because I love this author, and that book is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Please don't come for me on this. I honestly love Rainbow Rowell. I've read Attachments, Fangirl, and Eleanor and Park, and I loved all those. I still haven't read this one or Landline. This one though, I've tried to pick up 2 different times and just couldn't get into it, but I think at those times I just wasn't really in the mood for something like this. I ended up reading contemporaries. So I am going to try to pick this up again really soon, especially now with Wayward Son being out as well. And number 2 on my list is a bunch of books by the same author, and that author is Sarah J. Maas. So I don't have all of her books here with me right now, but I do have these 2. Throne of Glass I would probably read first because I have read the first 2 books, so I'm on this one, and I've also read The Assassin's Blade. With the Throne of Glass series, I read the first book and I really liked it. Then whenever I read Crown of Midnight, it kind of slowed down for me, and I got in a reading slump and never finished the series. So a couple months ago, I went back and reread Crown of Midnight. That way I could get back into this series, and then I still haven't picked this one up. So I really want to get to it soon. That way I can finish the series. I heard it gets even better the farther you read into it. And Queen of Shadows, I've heard a lot of good things about that one. So I really want to get to that one for sure. And then of course, I really want to try this series out too. Some people even like this series better than Throne of Glass. But I do really like Sarah J. Maas's writing style, so I do want to try this series as well. Okay, for number 3, I'm going to say the Shatter Me series. I know the first book in the series came out a while ago, and I read it on vacation a couple years ago. And I tried to start on the second book, but then I decided to read a contemporary because it was summertime and I felt like a different type of story at the time. So I never ended up picking up that second book again, and I really want to do it now because now there's even more books coming out in the series. I'm thinking maybe like 6. I don't know if they're all out yet, but I definitely want to get caught up before it's too late, and if they are all out, then I can binge read them all at once. For number 5 on my list, I'm going to talk about a series that I started not too long ago. It was actually the book I was reading in my first video I posted on YouTube, and that is Illuminae. This book to me had a slow start, but about halfway through I started getting really into it, and the ending was good, so I wanted to continue on with the series. I did actually pick up Gemina. I don't have Obsidio because I never got to this one, so I just never felt the need to go buy the last one. But I would like to binge read this one and the next one all at once. But hopefully I'll be able to get to it soon. I even thought about getting audiobooks for these because I heard some pretty good things about those. But I kind of like seeing the pages for myself since it's unique with the communications and then like documents and things like that. I'm not really sure, but I just want to get to it soon. Okay, this next series I definitely don't have with me because it came out several years ago, and that is the Delirium series. I'm starting to think I'm just really bad at finishing series because that is another one that I liked it. There was nothing wrong with it, but I just stopped reading it in the middle of the first book. I don't know why, but I definitely need to pick those back up because I was really into the first book while I was reading it, and I almost got all the way through it. I think that was during the time where I just got into this really bad book reading slump, and I couldn't finish anything. So I definitely want to get to that. Honestly though, I don't remember that much of what it's about, so I may have to reread the first book to get back into it. But that's okay with me because I do want to get into those. I think that is a series that I will end up rereading. Number 6 on this list is a book or set of books by an author that I've never read before, but I've heard nothing but good things about. The author is Lee Bardugo, and I'm wanting to read the Six of Crows duology. Now, I don't really know that much about these books. All I really know is that there's some kind of heist going on, I'm pretty sure, which I've just heard that from other people. But I don't really want to know that much about these. I just kind of want to go into them not knowing very much. I have heard they're really good though, so I really want to get into these. I also want to read Ninth House by Lee Bardugo, but that book has not been out that long. These have definitely been on my TBR shelf for very much longer. For number 8 on my list, I figured I'd throw in a contemporary book that's been on my shelf for a while because most of my others have been series. So for this book, I'm going to be talking about I'll Give You the Sun. So I'll Give You the Sun has been on my TBR shelf for so long. I've heard people say good things about it. I honestly completely forgot it was on my shelf until I was making this video. And then I saw it and was like, I need to read that. Like, I completely forgot it existed. But it's supposed to be really good. But right now I'm reading Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. I'm trying to read through Cassandra Clare's books right now and get caught up, but after I finish those, I'm sure I'm gonna want a contemporary before I start on all of those fantasy reads, so I thought this might be the perfect one. And last but not least, this is not a book that's been on my TBR forever, but I just wanted to include it in this video because I want to talk about it. And last but not least, I wanted to throw one extra book on here just because I wanted to talk about it. It has not been on my TBR shelf forever, but I still wanted to add it to this list because I do want to get to it ASAP. And that book is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. Right now, I'm reading through Queen of Air and Darkness, so I'm almost caught up enough on the Shadowhunter books to read this one. I do like to read them in order. I know I could probably just go ahead and read this if I really wanted to, but I like to stick to the order that she published them. Cassandra Clare is my favorite author, so I'm really excited to get to this. You'd think my favorite author, I would already be caught up on the books, but those reading slumps, man, like, they're awful. I did get to go to her signing for this book, one of her tour stops before she had to cancel because of the virus. And I'm very grateful because that's the first author signing I've ever been to, and it was awesome. There's where she signed it for summer, and her signature, CC. But this is probably the first book out of all the books I've mentioned that I will read, just because I love Cassandra Clare, and I'm currently binge reading the Shadowhunter books to catch up. I just read Lord of Shadows, now I'm on Queen of Air and Darkness, and then I'm going to go straight to this one, and I'm probably going to go back and read Ghosts of the Shadow Market later because I just can't wait for this one. And it is just novella bind-ups. I do want to read them still, but I am going to skip them until after I read this one. So that was some of the books that I feel like have been on my shelf forever, and hopefully I can get to some of these books during this time where we're all standing anyways. Hopefully I'll be posting another video soon, and thanks for watching.